Hello, welcome to Model 8 of the mushroom farming course. This particular model is about the business and marketing of mushrooms. So let's talk. It's going to be about talking about money, business planning, pricing, and sales strategy. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to drop a comment and I'll answer your questions that you might have. But I would always encourage that you also go watch this course on agrodemy.net, which is our academy, so that you can get all of the templates and guides that have been provided alongside the course and a certificate which you can use to apply to a mushroom company, which you can use when you are applying for a grant to show validation, or which you can use when applying for a loan or any sort of financing that so interests you. So let's get back into the model. In this model, you're going to learn how to calculate your cost and profit in the mushroom business, how to write a simple mushroom business plan, how to track your income and expenses, where and how to sell your product, and how to pitch your product to customers. And then we'll talk about how to use social media to grow your mushroom brand. So let's get into it. So costing and profitability. So example, if you want to grow 100 bags, we are doing this price in Naira. These are not real prices. They are just for the purpose of ensuring that you understand what we are talking about. Maybe you bought your mushrooms pounds for 8,000 naira, you put it, your sawdust and your brand for 4,000, you update it. You also buy bags and cotton plugs for 3,000, your drums, your buckets, your basic tools for 20,000, and your rent, maybe for 1 year, or 15,000, and your labor you spent 10,000. At the end of the day, it is safe to say that your startup cost for your first 100 bag is 60,000. Your return then should be, if you're spending 60,000 and then you make an average of 1 kg mushroom per bag, your selling price should be at 800 kg 800 naira per kg, so that your 100 bags is going to give you 80 to 100,000 in 3 weeks, right? But this can double if you are into value addition, if you're making mushroom flours, if you're making mushroom teas, if you're making mushroom snacks, right? So typically, yes, that's how we do it. So that's how you think about your returns. This is how you think about your costing and profitability. And if you're selling it at 800, it means that you are going to be making 20,000 naira profit. And then 20,000 naira profit because you are going to be selling, your cost of production is around 600, right, per bag, and then you're making 800 per bag, right? So that's 200 naira profit extra on it. Typically, I like to see that 200 naira is around like 40%, around 32%, so which is a good profit margin. So you could keep your profit margin up onto 50% depending on the who you're selling to and what you're selling to the person. And again, depending on the value of the product. So what are the step by step that you want to go through when you are trying to design your business plan? There are a few things that I want you to look into. Keep it simple, keep it useful. Use this format: your business name and your information, e.g., Mush Fresh Agro, owner by Esther in Ibadan. What is the problem you are solving? There's a lack of healthy meat alternative in my area. What is your solution? Fresh oyster mushroom, mushroom flour, and farm training. Who are your target markets? Maybe you are targeting urban, health conscious women, restaurants, herbal shop, and then you do a breakdown of what you need. That's your startup cost, your startup equipment. You have that. Then the next thing you want to now do is your pricing, your sales and pricing strategy. So you want to sell your fresh at 800 naira per kg, and for your flow, you want to sell it at 1,200 per 100 gram, right? And your marketing plan, social media, WhatsApp, restaurant visit, and what are your projection? Your first three circle on the basis that you are making 80,000 naira per circle, your three circles should give you 240 in revenue, of which 60,000 naira is your profit, right? And team, if you have a team, you state it, oh, you and your siblings, or you hired an assistant, right? And then what are your next steps to begin production, to start training? I typically would always suggest that, always go for physical training if you can. And you can book physical training on Agrodemy website, agrodemy.net. It helps, right? And you're good. You have a detailed business plan that has all of the information. You don't want to add things around risk. What are the risks you potentially think you would face in this business, and what you are doing to mitigate this risk, and what are the registration documents that you need for the location. For some in Nigeria, you need a CAC. If you're going into floor, you then begin to need a NAFDAC. Packaging material is also inside your cost. You want to include that. If you are using electricity for your ACs, for your dryers, you want to include that cost too into your system, right? All of these should be factored in, and then you use that to decide what your best pricing strategy would be and what your sales strategy is going to be. Now, for record keeping, there are a couple of records that is very important for you to keep. You have to keep your production log and your harvest log, right? So, for your production log, which day was it inoculated? How many bags? What's the mushroom type? What's the spawn batch name? Especially if you buy spawn, so that you know which of the spawns that you bought that is affecting your mushroom when there is like bad mushrooms, right? Then you also keep like a harvest log. So harvest date, quantity harvested, what is your quality grade. So you can decide to have quality grade A, B, and C, very fresh, and big, medium size, small sized. Right? Was it sold, or was it stored, or was it processed? Right? These are the kind of things you put in your harvest log. Then another thing you need to keep is a sales record and an expense tracker. So for your sales, the day you made the sales, quantity you sold, the buyer's name, the unit price, and the amount collected. I always used to say, always also add like details of how to contact the buyer. So either emails or phone number, preferably emails and phone number. um your expense tracker, so the date, what is the thing you bought, how much did you spend, what was the thing bought for, right? So that it helps you to know how much you're spending. If you don't keep records, you will not be able to know if your business is growing, right? We typically on the academy, right, you would have an opportunity to a link to download some of these record keeping template, and with detail on how to use them. So please look at it. The next thing you want to have is like a price tracker. So just if you have a Google Sheet, I would advise that you open your Google Sheet, create a column, name one of the column date, another one product, another one quantity, another one unit price, and another one buyer type. So you have different types of buyer. Maybe you have a retail buyer, you have direct buyer, you have bulk buyer, you have restaurant buyer. Then every week you enter your data and use that chart to track, price increase and decrease over time. Why does this even matter, right? You need to know when your price is rising. You need to know your most profitable product. You need to build confidence when you're talking to buyers, when you know the product that is selling the most, right? And this tracker is what helps you to know if you should be increasing your price, if you should be reducing your price, and what is the demand of the market. Now, the next thing in your head is, how do you sell? So officially, right, there are offline and online channels. Offline channels are your local market, health food stores, restaurants and hotels, herbal shop, roadside stores, clinics are a very good place to also sell these days. Supermarkets, if you have access to supermarkets. Then for online channels, you want to do your WhatsApp status, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram shops, having an Instagram page, TikTok pages, on X. You could also sell it there, and online marketplace like Jumia or any local e-commerce stores around you. Just send them good pictures, give them good margins, and they'll be able to sell your product in a way that allows them to also make money. As a pro tip, I always used to say carry your samples in a small cooler and do product testing at churches, salons, events, anywhere you can find people, so that you have real videos to show your potential partners, people who are buying enough bulk product from you, that the market actually likes your product. Just have it around you. Very small, right? Have it around you. Now, how do you pitch, right? Because you are going to be speaking to different people. So if you're speaking to an individual, you use example, you do stuff like, "Oh, good morning, ma. I sell fresh organic mushroom harvested within 24 hours, no chemical. Would you like to try a 250 pack for just 500 today?" See, you have told them what you are selling, how fresh it is, the fact that it's safe for them, and you have given them a suggestion of the size you want them to buy and the price. That's how to talk to people. If you're talking to restaurants, you'll be like, "Hello, sir. I supply fresh oyster mushroom weekly. They cook faster than meat and are rich in protein. I can do a free testing for your chef." Now, that way, what you have done is you have moved the free testing from him, because he's not exactly the one to make the decision, it's the chef. So you have passed it from him down to the chef, and because it's free testing, chef will most probably say yes to you. The chef says that your product is good, manager would pay for it. That's the hack. And if you go into health stores or herbal shops, you just do greetings. I package dried mushrooms and mushroom powder rich in antioxidants. My products are NAFDAC registered and locally grown. Once you state your sales pitch like that, you have let them know that, my product has good benefits, but it is actually safe for you to also sell it because I have all of the certifications and it is locally grown. So expect that you can always get delivery because it is not imported. So that's how you structure your sales pitch across different audience. As a format, I always say greet, state what you offer, state the benefits, give your price, and ask them to try or schedule a purchase with you. Now, for social media, things that I like you to look at is for your WhatsApp. Think about your WhatsApp status, your WhatsApp stories, or directly chatting people, sending DMs to people. On Instagram, just a lot of pictures, reels of mushroom cooking, mushroom harvesting, your process, honestly, not your business process, actually, process that concerns the customers. When you are cutting out the mushrooms, how they see that you have a neat process. When you are harvesting, how they see that your harvesting process is neat. When you are packaging, how they see that your packaging process is neat. Informations that helps them to build trust and buy from you. And for Facebook, you want to look at local groups of health conscious individuals or Facebook Marketplace. YouTube Shorts, similar to Reels, put your drying process, your recipe demos, same thing on TikTok. But with TikTok, you want to put things like your packaging day, your fun mushroom facts, just to keep your customers engaged about what you are doing. So what do you now post? Use hashtags like mushroom business, African agri business, healthy eating, organic food, organic Africa, mushroom flour if you're in Nigeria, mushroom flour in Nigeria. I always used to advise that you create a 3 times weekly content calendar, one that contains education, testimonial, and promo. As a flip, you can then flip this, you don't have testimonials, to something funny, right? Humor, so that people are excited about following your page. You post things around behind the scene on the farm, your customers' testimonial, cooking with mushroom, product unboxing, and health benefit carousel, so that they can understand the health benefit of your product. And with this knowledge, you now know how to market, sell your mushroom, decide your pricing, keep records, and make the money in the mushroom business. As a recap, in this module, we have talked about budgets and how to calculate your profit, how to design your business plan, how to record every money from income and expenses, where to sell and how to confidently talk to your buyers, and how to use your phone and free tools to sell more of your mushroom. You have come to the end of this module, and in the next module, we're now going to talk about scaling your mushroom business. And that module is particular for people who really have, they have customers, they have grown, they have revenue, and they are thinking about what next in their business. So look forward to seeing the next module. Don't forget to let me know in the comment section what you learned in this module, what you particularly like about this module. Thank you.